Hello, everybody. I'm Tiina Ma again, talking about the teacher's perceptions of learning environments fostering learning and well-being. Don't worry, other people will talk later on. But now I will present some of the outcomes, quick outcomes from that book in particular that I just presented. That we have just launched a new book on the learning environment design with my colleagues, Maria Kankaaranta, Takumi Yoda, and Elma Hyöky. Two of them are here also with us today. So great, let's celebrate our new book. Okay, so just quickly something that it's important to understand that when we talk about the learning environment, what is a learning environment? This is the way we have defined it in our research at the moment. So we are considering the technology-enhanced physical learning environments where we are here now at the moment, including the virtual part. Some other people are somewhere else, but in the physical setting as well. Physical is always there, no matter whether it's hybrid. And then there's a psychosocial learning environment, which is also always there, interaction, action with people. And in our research, we are focusing on physical, cognitive, emotional, and social, both learning and well-being. We think you can't really separate them. They are somehow, they are pre and post requisites, or you need to be well to learn. And on the other hand, you learn about how to improve your well-being. So these concepts are very connected in our research. This is the framework that I first developed in my doctoral dissertation in 2018, long time ago when I was young. And then it has been updated since then in the recent work with Maria Kankaaranta and the colleagues. For instance, we considered better the hybrid and virtual environments and also the home as a learning environment, lessons we learned thanks to COVID. And also we considered more teachers' perception in this new framework version. And so we've been using that as a base. To learn more about the framework, we have already one video published. So if you want to understand the theoretical background, the idea how it works, go to our MultiLED Lecture Series 4 to learn more. Okay, so based on this theoretical background, we developed a learning environment design survey that includes all these elements of that framework. And it has questions related to the importance that the participant feel, whether they find something important, let's say teacher-led teaching, how well they think they are considered in the learning environment, and then how they could be better considered, open-ended questions. So this is the survey we used in this study. For instance, teacher-led teaching, do you think it's important? Do you think you have possibilities like what I'm doing now to do teacher-led teaching? And then we gave some examples like how they, for instance, this setting we have at the moment facilitates teacher-led teaching. Okay, we had 150 participants. We made the both qualitative and quantitative analysis. We were interested in differences between different educational similarities and differences between different educational levels. And this book is presenting then the main findings. But just like a little sneak peek to the results that you can read more in a book if you know Finnish, and in the future, maybe other languages, be patient. So the aspects of communality, I tried to summarize what was important there, that the teachers we were involving in the study, they really wanted to have versatile possibilities and spaces for collaboration. Collaboration was the key element. They considered teacher-led instruction as least important, but still in comparison, it was more important in primary than in early childhood. Makes sense. And then environments for transversal project-based learning were not so much valued in the secondary school. We think maybe because they are not so familiar with it, but so it would require there some more efforts. In relation to safety, to summarize these findings, the teacher's idea is that they need a confidential atmosphere and easy monitoring, but not necessarily glass walls. Glass walls were controversial, or at least with the dimming curtains, if possible. So, and early childhood education teachers obviously were very, very, I think they rated 5, everybody rated 5, the importance of physical safety and transparency. So very important, again, very logical with the small children. And they were also stating, many participants were stating that open and transparent culture is not the same as open spaces and glass walls. Maybe we sometimes confuse the idea of openness, that physical openness is not the same as psychosocial openness. So this was important finding. In individuality, participants wanted positive possibilities and spaces for personalized, self-regulated and individual work. Personalization was very important in early childhood education. And on the other hand, individual working alone was considered more important in secondary. This somehow makes sense as well if you think of the age groups. And then in privacy and peacefulness, good soundproofing and private spaces was very important. And the no noise disturbance and possibilities for privacy, it was important in all educational levels, no matter what. This is important. In the novelty category, technology was considered as a part of everyday work, natural thing. It was a little bit less as important in early childhood education, again, understandable. But it was more important in primary and secondary schools. This all makes sense as well. In novel spaces, they wanted inspiring spaces, but not too open. This question of openness came again. The open learning environments were amongst the least important aspects. But still, early childhood education teachers considered this more important. For instance, to have big spaces to divide play groups and so they were more familiar and happy with the open settings with children. Then in conventional tools, paper books and other traditional tools are important. We can state that. So don't abandon everything traditional. And again, it was even more important in early childhood education. Next, there should be room for traditional school design based on this study. Don't abandon everything old again. Everything old is not necessarily bad. And everything new is not necessarily good either. So certain formality and conventional school design based on this study belong to the school as well. It's not amongst the most important aspects, however, but it's there. And it's still more important in primary and secondary in comparison to early childhood. Again, common sense findings. In flexibility and functionality, which is in this the centric element of this framework, versatility was really important. Versatile methods, tools, spaces, ease of flexibility, they are important in all educational levels. I would maybe take this as a key finding or something from the study. Make different types of basic, vary, don't do just one. Because the more tools, more methods, more techniques, we also make stronger learners. We learn in different settings. It's useful for us. So that's like if you have to make a design decisions, make versatile possibilities. And then with this flexibility, adaptability, modifiability, and so on, it's valued if it's easy. That's the key. Do it, but make it easy to handle. Okay, so as a conclusion, we can say that in all educational levels, I already mentioned the versatile teaching and learning methods, tools and materials and spaces are important. Possibilities and spaces for both collaborative and individual work, maybe a bit more individual in the secondary than in the early childhood, but both ways of working are needed. And both traditional materials and technological tools. Combining things, the balance between these things was the key key finding. And easy adaptability and modifiability, or how do you pronounce it? I don't know. So walls that are easy to open and close. So not open spaces, but opening and closing spaces. This is the key element. And noiseless environments as well, and private spaces. And so level-specific open environments and personalization. It was easy for early childhood education. So probably if we want to use this kind of ways and spaces of learning, we should support primary and secondary teachers to know how to do it. And secondary teachers need more support, on the other hand, to know how to do transfers of project-based learning in different spaces. And everybody needs professional development, support, and time to know, to plan how to use different spaces. And so if teachers don't know how to use, what to do with the spaces, they are useless, we can say. Okay, some of the publications, and thank you.